This fairway Ed from Corpus Christi, Texas. So you're listening to Nothing is OB.
Man, this game is crazy. You know, you come out here 1 week, you look like a major champion. The next week, you look like a 25 handicapper from Crabapple, North Dakota.
Right there, my Alice boys.
Let's go.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2, 1 putt, putt for a birdie, woo-hoo, new driver, info,
My
replace,
interviews,
M2, pop
gonna have a banger for you.
Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, hit Drew, shooter McGavin, 2 thumbs that's up high and 2 fingers pointed at you, pew pew, fairway to green, conk off that I'm playing, sometimes these part 3 green look like an island, I'm plunging to keep it on dry land, at least I'm at
Podcast right here, episode 197. Now tonight's special guest, he's in the midst of his three-peat UIL State Girls Golf Champion, Coach Brent McCuiston from Alamo Heights. He's about to enter his 45th year in the coaching game. It was great to catch up with him this past week out at Texas High School Coaches Association, the coaching convention. Guys, but before we kick things off here, guys, we're going to go ahead and pay some bills here, guys. Make sure, guys, you represent and check out our presenting sponsor, Maximum Demolition and Dismantling. Make sure you hit up my guy, Lee Ramos, at MaximumDemo.com. This dude loves the dirty work. He's a hack golfer. Great dude. Southside born, Southside raised. No job too big, no job too small. Make sure you hit up my man, Lee Ramos, at 210-507-2227. And also, guys, do not forget, we are coming live from the Texas Chancla Studios. That's right, our guy, Jesse Hernandez. He's back in town from living his best golf life. All right, guys, we're thankful for his sponsorship of the Texas Chancla Studios. Make sure you hit him up for any of your legal needs. Yes, he is that lawyer, the TikTok lawyer, back-to-back from SA Current Lawyer of the Year. Hit him up at 210-807-8656, JesseHernandezLaw.com, guys, the Texas Chancla. We're thankful for his support. All right, guys, and also do not forget FOREBROS Tour. Never golf alone again. Guys, if you don't have a home, FOREBROS Tour has a home for you. They are a gimme sponsor. All types of games, king to the par 3, net games, gross games, play the best schedule, the best course. And don't forget, guys, we have our event this coming weekend out at the Golf Club of Texas, guys. Out at the Golf Club of Texas, we have the Happy Gilmore 2 screening, guys. Happy Gilmore 2 golf and a movie, 9-hole tournament, 9 p.m. screening on the inflatable screen out there at Golf Club of Texas. The golf vibe, no other golf vibe like it. Make sure, guys, you hit us up. You can hit up Zeke at golfclubtexas.com, or you can reserve your spot at 210-504-2550, guys. That's golf and a movie, sponsored in collab with FOREBROS Tour and Nothing is OB. All right, guys, with no further ado, let's bring on our guy, Coach Brent McCuiston. Coach, how we do tonight, my brother?
We're awesome, Andy. Thank you so much for having me on. Looking forward to this.
My brother, thank you so much for being on. It's always great to catch up at coaching school. And I've always been an admirer from afar. I see you with your army out there at San Pedro for years, always working. You got your girls working like a squad, like a football squad out there, Coach.
They are they don't need much coaching in that regard. They came to me working very hard naturally. Yes, I fine-tune here and there, but those girls are not afraid to put the work in, obviously.
Now, Coach, before we kick things off here, what is it about coaching school that always kind of refuels the jets, or kind of gets things kicked off for you in regards to the year?
Isn't it awesome to be there? It's just, you got 17,000 men and women that are fighting the same battle that you fight on a daily basis. And we're all in it to make kids better. Just like the THSCA, the Texas High School Coaches Association, says, we're there to help you help kids. And when you got 17,000 people that are committed to impacting the lives of young people through athletics, and then telling stories, and then getting out later in the evening and sharing more stories, and there's just nothing like it. I look forward to it every year, and I'm sad when it's over.
Coach, is in all your years of teaching and coaching, is there something that do you always pull something from these conventions or these clinics or these talks?
Every time. I going my 45th year. I'm going to be a lifelong learner. I'm committed to that. I'm committed to being the best coach the last day I coach, and the best coach that I'll ever be the last day I coach. And you do that by continuing to learn. And sitting in the golf lectures this year, the very last speaker we had was Jonathan Coates, the girls coach over at Lake Travis that won a state championship this year. And he gave a great speech and just talked about so many things that I'm going to make sure I implement this year. Looking forward to it.
All right, Coach. Why don't you take us through how it all began? How it all began in back in Odessa, Permian. How it all started? How you got into the field of coaching and how we got here. I know. I need you to give us shrink wrap us 45 years here in the next few minutes.
For whatever reason, God had me on the coaching path at a very early age. I remember being, even in elementary school, being enamored with my coaches, being in awe of my coaches, and wanting to be like them. And the thought of, why don't you be a coach, came at a very early age. And then growing up in the Odessa Permian system, in and around greatness, the original Friday Night Lights had a giant impact on me. Of course, I will forever be grateful that I was raised in that atmosphere. Unfortunately, and this kind of brings me to how I became a coach. The summer before my 9th grade year, I had a really bad motorcycle wreck, tore up the left leg seriously, and really hampered how I was going to be able to continue playing football. Was scared to death that my first thought was, because I didn't play, I wasn't going to get to coach. At the time, John Wilkins was our head coach at Odessa Permian, member of the Hall of Honor, Texas High School Coach Association, very well thought of, hugely successful, obviously. And I remember being scared to death my sophomore year, walking into his office and sitting down with him, and he took time with me. He took time with me when he didn't have to. And I remember him, I told him that story. I said, Coach, I'm afraid I want to coach. I want to coach bad. It's all I've ever thought of. And I've had this motorcycle wreck. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to play. And he said, I tell you what, I want you to come be a manager. He said, I know that's not appealing to you, but I'm going to make sure that you get an education, and then we'll go from there. So I came out. I was a manager my sophomore year. He made sure we had enough managers that every varsity coach had their own personal manager. And he made sure that I was with the offensive line. Then I was with the secondary. Then I was with the linebackers. Then I was with the receivers. Then I was with him. And then the very next year, I'll never forget this. He called me into his office, and he was a man of few words, highly intelligent, Rice graduate. He handed me a piece of paper, and he said, call this number, make me proud. I said, yes, sir. I left, got home, called that number. It was the director of Pop Warner football with the Odessa Boys Club. He said, I hear you want to be a coach. I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, I've got a team for you. Will you come coach them? I was a junior in high school, and he took my first team. And I started coaching then. I coached Summer League, Little League. I every time I could put myself in and around the coaching profession, I did that. And here I am 45 years later, even longer than that if you count those years in high school. I was a student assistant for F.A. Dry at TCU. I was in film rooms. I was in offensive staff meetings, defensive staff meetings. I did it all. I just put myself in a position to to find out how to do this profession at the highest level.
Coach, what was something, and now, and it's starting off your young career at such a young age, and now being a golf coach. What was maybe the biggest thing you could take away from those coaches that were obviously highly successful football coaches that you could still implement to now 45 years later?
Passion and work ethic. The passion that all of those men displayed, that I was fortunate to be around and learn from. They came to practice every day with a tank full of energy and displayed that energy with their kids, and demanded a lot out of them, challenged them a lot, and then just the work ethic, the time they spent, not afraid to spend that time. The late, they would get to, I remember the coaches at Permian, they'd get to the field house on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And sometimes it would be well past midnight before they got home, ready to go again on Monday morning. And just the preparation and the attention to detail and the process of thinking out game plans and all those things. They were not afraid to work, not one bit.
Man, it just sounds like already, like I feel those two-a-days. I feel that passion. I just coming through the screen right here, Coach. So tell us, Coach. All right, so you worked for some great guys. You had some great mentors there. Where did it start to kind of shift to the golf side?
So I guess there's a good side and a bad side to everything. I guess the bad side to that is, yes, I spent those all day Saturdays and all day Sundays. I remember being a young grad assistant at Texas Tech and sleeping in my office on Sunday night. It's just what we did. It's how we coached back then. To even say it was expected, no, it's just what we did. It's how we did the best we could to be the best we could for our kids and to win football games. And so by the time I got to be 40 years old, that the sands through those hourglasses had kind of run its course. I was during the off season, I loved golf, and so did all my coaching buddies. And we played all summer long, and anytime we could get our hands on a golf club, and so I had a passion for it. Like I said, I was 40, about 1996. The golf job at Coronado High School in El Paso, Texas came open. And I came home and I told my wife that the golf job was open and that I was seriously thinking about it. And she had a very stunned look on her face. And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Look, I'm 40 years old. I've never been deer hunting. I've never been fishing. And you forgot my name 2 times last year. I think it's time that I make a change." And I went ahead and pulled that trigger, and I kind of think it was a God thing. That's just the path He led me on, and I took that job and never looked back.
How is that? How is it making that transition? Don't get me wrong, working at a small Catholic school, I know what it's like to be that coach in August, and then being that coach in March and in March, April, and May, right? It's a lot different for me tone wise, right? Well, how was it making that complete transition? Was it everything you thought it would be, or were there some growing pains? Or I know you said that's where you said you felt God wanted you to be.
Interesting story. So when I took the job, I went to El Paso Country Club. I had hosted the Coronado practices over the years, and I just showed up in their pro shop one day and asked to talk to the head pro, and the head pro was a man named Cameron Doan. And I walked in his office and introduced myself, and I just said, "I'm the new golf coach at El Paso Coronado, and I'm going to coach this at the same level and the same energy, with the same passion that I coach football. And so I did that. So there wasn't a transition. My wife will tell you, yes, it's not quite as demanding as football, but I come home from practice and I'm making notes and I'm maybe looking on Google Earth at a golf course that we're about to play, trying to plan how we're going to play a hole. And the same work ethic applies. And so there wasn't a transition for me. Those kids deserved my best effort, and I was going to give it to them.
Dang, I love it, Coach. You know what I always say? I got some eligibility left. I think my high school. I'm a few credits short, man. Can you pull some strings for me? Pull some strings.
Right. I might need to get you to go through tryouts, Andy. I'm pretty sure most of my girls might be able to put a whooping on you.
Oh, Coach, don't get me wrong, man. All right, so it was a couple years back. Coach at she coaches at O'Connor right now. Coach Allie Trevino, and it was an FCA event out at Silverhorn. Out at Canyon Springs. And she said, Coach, I can't make this event, but we need another coach to fill in, right? To be with the kids. And I said,
right.
I got you, right? So I'm behind several squads, right? I'm behind, I think, some of your girls. I'm behind Reagan, like girls, and I'm like, they're the hole in front of us. And I said, what's up with these kids? Why are they playing so? And I'm with like a mixed match, hodgepodge. I got a kid from Warren, a kid from Brandeis, a kid from some other Briscoe, like all over the place, right? Like she threw me like the Bad News Bears, right, group, they were great young guys. They were great young men to play with, and I enjoyed it. But I said, why are these girls groups like moving so fast? And then we go back. Bill Rogers was going to speak, right? And we go out back there for burgers, and I'm looking at the scores, and I'm just like, that's why they were moving so fast. We got our butts like whooped, man. It was like there was like 10 under, 12 under. Like you can't let those girls go like scramble. Like, man, it was just like it was nothing for them,
The level of play when I first started, I had boys and girls at El Paso Coronado. In 1996, we made it to regionals in 97 and got beat, did not qualify for the state tournament. We were out in Lubbock. And I remember driving home thinking, man, if we could ever just break 330, we're going to be okay. 330 now, you're not going to win district anywhere, ever. At the 6A level, 5A level, and probably the 4A level. The level of play for women's golf especially has just gone through the roof. They're really, really good players.
And the one thing, and tell me if this is true, I've heard it from so many coaches all over the place, that everyone continually says, I have two daughters, and I did everything. I bribed them, snacks, drinks, drive the golf cart. You know what? Daddy will give you $1 every time you swing the dang club. I tried to get them into golf. Man, I tried so hard, right? But everyone always says that the most, get your girls into golf because that's where the most, I guess, unclaimed college scholarships are.
That used to be true. I think I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to approach that, how you get girls into golf. I think the ones that I've coached that have been the most successful, their dads did a great job of making it super fun for them very early. Probably put them in the golf cart and took them out on the golf course. And when they started having fun, a lot of fun, riding in the cart, they said, okay, time to go. And then the next time they put them in the lap and let them put their hands on the wheel. And the next time they let them drive. And every time it started to get fun, they took them home. And then they started hitting some balls on the range and just that progression. And it was always fun. It was always fun. And it just kept being fun. And the next thing you know, they're little athletes. They have great eye-hand coordination. And they have caught the bug and they get really good.
Man, I should have had you. I mean, the show's only 7 years old, but I needed to have the show and have you on 10 years ago. Man, I missed, I missed it right there. All right, Coach, how did you make your way to San Antonio? We talk about being out there in El Paso, and what got you here to the 210 area.
So we have great friends and great memories in El Paso. It was the first time I qualified the team for the state tournament. I keep in touch with those girls. Two of them come to a tournament I host here in San Antonio, and I'm in constant touch with a good amount of those kids that I coached back in El Paso. But I have this affliction. I'm that obnoxious Texan that loves being a Texan. El Paso ain't Texas.
I was going to say it's not Texas.
As much as you want it to be, it just isn't. And when Wendy and I got the opportunity to move here, Mike Martin was at Churchill at the time, called me and said, "Hey, Reagan job's open. Come." And he said, I think you'll get it if you'll come interview for it. I came and visited with Earl Kincaid and Coach Comalander. And next thing you know, I'm the boys and girls golf coach at Reagan High School for the next 18 years. And backing up that football thing again, my wife was fortunate enough to get to be a teacher at Smithson Valley High School and became great friends with Larry Hill. And so there's that coaching piece again, right? We've been great friends with Larry at Smithson Valley, and so thrilled for him to win the state championship this year. And he does it a lot like I grew up seeing it done, with that kind of work ethic and that kind of passion. Obviously, what does it bring you to? Great success. So, but yeah, great 18 years at Reagan High School.
I was extremely happy for Coach Hill, because if you're in the coaching game and you wanted, I think a lot of people wanted that title for him, right? Wanted that. He needed zero validation as what kind of man and what kind of coach he needed zero validation. And I think it was just like, if anybody deserved a state title, it was that gentleman right there. And it was great to see him do it. We have some family members that are in the Smithson Valley, school system. My brother-in-law, his kids are in high school, and in there's the big competition between them and Piper, right? Between them and Piper Ranch out there. And so I being in town, I really don't get a taste of that rivalry. But when we're out there, we feel the rivalry out there.
There is more than you know that goes with that rivalry, and it is very intense and very well deserved, and it's going to make them both better. Like Coach Poppy said, the Smithson Valley golf coach, iron sharpens iron, and so it's going to be good for both of them. And I'm thrilled to see that success for them. And then, Coach Poppy's success at Smithson Valley too. That's just been awesome. He's a great man, great coach. Got great kids, and that's been fun to watch.
And it's awesome, and that's why as being, and I say younger coach because I am younger than you, and I've seen you do it right. You're mentioning coaches that have done things, and we always say the right, like there's only one way to do things, and that's the right way. And if you do things the right way, the wins will come, and if the wins don't come, you still did things the right way. And one of the things when I saw you coach at one of the speakers, when Coach Kearney from Incarnate Word was speaking, I saw you speaking to one of your former kids, and I didn't want to eavesdrop, but I did a little bit, and it was a beautiful thing to see her come up to you and say, "Oh, well, this is my married name," and going back to my maiden name and things like that. How does that feel as a coach now, doing it for so many years, when you have your former students getting into the coaching and teaching field, or just being out there and just being great citizens and giving back?
That's one of the great pleasures of this business. We don't get our awards monetarily. Obviously, you don't, I don't. No coach that ever coached is going to make what they deserve. So we get our self-satisfaction in largely with the relationships that we create with our kids. And when they become adults, they want to keep in touch with you. They want to contact you. They want to share old stories. And there is just nothing like it. you know, I just love that time that I get to spend with my ex players. It's the thing that kind of tells us we did it right. You know, it's that thing that says they may have shown their displeasure with you back when you were coaching them, but then they come to dinner at your house and then they're telling how much they love you for it. And there's nothing like that.
Oh, amen, Coach. Amen. You can't see it. Like I said, I have this podcast is going to several different ways. So I got some comments right here I need to read. Jay Govan, his son is an athletic director. I'm sure you know him. He's at Northside. Now he's at Northeast. This is Big J, Jay Senior. He said, "Amen." I got one of my good buddies, Jacob Munoz, said, Mr. Quarry, and James Buddy Cook. He said, "Hey, be Cook here." Right there, checking out the show right now.
Buddy Cook from Odessa, Texas.
Oh, hey, man, y'all infiltrated this 2-0 area, and y'all are definitely making your mark on the game. And man, I had the privilege to help out the Texas Golf Hall of Fame to interview Buddy Cook, and I was so disappointed because his best stuff was his off the record stuff. He kept saying like all day, "Oh, this is off the record. This is off the record." And I look at Scott Wilson, the guy who's doing the recording, and he's kind of leading the talk. And I said, "Scott," I said, "his best stuff is off the record, man. How do you do it?" And he goes, "I know it happens like that sometimes." So
he has got a lot of good stuff. We're all Phil trash and proud of it.
All right. Okay, Coach. One of the things I heard you say on the Texas High School Coaches Association podcast, and we talked about being coached and being coached hard by football coaches, and you were mentioning that's how you coach your kids, right? You made a great quote where it was you got your face mask grabbed the right way, or you got it grabbed with the right intentions.
Yes, no doubt. You know, the best story I can tell in that relation, there was a football clinic in San Angelo. It was the best football clinic during the summer, attended by thousands and thousands of coaches, college coaches, NFL coaches, high school coaches. And I'll never forget, Joe McBride was the defensive coordinator at the University of Nebraska when they were Tom Osborne. Still
the black shirt defense.
Yes. He came up with the black shirts, which they got from Odessa Permian, by the way, when they came to recruit. And so, because our defense, our starting defensive players wore black shirts, and they'd been doing it way before Nebraska started doing it. So I think they came and were recruiting, and then the next thing you know, you got a big deal about the black shirts in Nebraska. So Joe McBride is. We are writing notes. Just he's giving X's and O's on defense and so on and so forth. And he gets to the end of the X's and O's part, and he says, "All right, I want y'all to tear the papers out of your notebooks that you've been writing on." And everybody's kind of looking, and they're, "Oh, what?" And he said, "Tear them out right now." And then so there's 1,000 coaches sitting in this room, and so you can start to hear 1,000 coaches tearing their notes out of the book that they're writing in. And he goes, "Now wad them up." Now everybody's really stunned. And he can't, and he said, "I mean it. I'm not going one step further till I hear y'all wadding up those papers." I wad mine up in the ball, and you can hear it all the way across that giant meeting room. And he says, "Now what you have in your hand is trash. Unless you love your kids. What you have in your hand isn't going to work unless you show them you care about them and you love them." And man, that stuck with me, and it's never changed. And when you show kids how much you care about them, how much you really appreciate what they do, they'll let you grab the face mask. Even girls golf, They'll let you push them. They'll let you challenge them because they know they're going to be better, and they know that your heart is in the right place.
And man, I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel it through the screen right now, Coach. I feel it on the air right now. And I think obviously you've won tremendously. You've won a great amount of tournaments. You're in the midst of an amazing 3-peat run right now. but I can see that. I can see your kids have the utmost trust in you, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So let's get back to where you're getting me off track, Coach. Nothing is OB here, but man, you're pumping me up right now, man. You're pumping me up. I got the bag right now. I'm ready to walk 9. I'm ready for an emergency 9 right now, Coach. That's where you got me going right there. So you get to Reagan, Coach, and again, you have you're coaching boys and girls there, right? And I guess
Right.
and tell me, is there a slight difference in having to maybe manage both teams simultaneously?
I just made a conscious effort, and I'm not sure where this came from, Andy. I made a conscious effort. I was going to coach the boys just like the girls, and vice versa. I was going to coach the girls just like I coached the boys. I was going to challenge them. We get in the weight room, and Metallica comes on, and my old offensive line coach self comes blaring out, and the girls rise to that occasion. I think they want to be coached. I think they want to be challenged. They don't mind getting hollered at and having high fives, and again, it goes back to, as long as they know you care about them, they're going to bust their tail for you. So no, distance, off the tee, all of those things. There's some differences there that you have to prepare for. But the human being itself, I choose not to believe that there's just no difference to me.
Right here, Coach. I got some great comments right here. And I'm sorry though. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm on a new operating system and I can't post these for some reason. This is on my personal page where I'm sending where people are commenting. And thank you so much, everybody, for chiming in. James Buddy Cook, love you guys. Hunter Pressel, Coach Mac. He goes, tell him I said what's up. Hunter Pressel. He goes, that's my coach. And Hunter Pressel, he's not lying. He worked us like dogs.
Thanks, Hunter. Yes, I did, and I'd do it again.
Love it right there, Coach. All right, Coach. We take off from Reagan, and what was the one thing that you're building? You're having success at Reagan. Why make the move to Alamo Heights?
You try not to be selfish, but at the time, my retirement system number came up, and just out of great timing and a great opportunity, the Danny Hayes at Alamo Heights had retired and moved on. They were looking for a golf coach. The AD at the time wanted to have a girls coach and a boys coach. And I just actually contacted her even before I thought anything like this would happen and said, look, I'm in the high school golf community a lot. I know the coaches. I'm involved in the Texas High School Coaches Association. That program should be really good. If I can help you find a good coach, I'd be more than happy. She said, would you be interested? It never even occurred to me. And sure enough, we began to talk. My TRS numbers were perfect, so I was able to do what we call a retire rehire. And so all I have to do is coach golf. So it is a wonderful, wonderful job. And she wanted me. The girls had been, I don't want to say neglected. That's not the right word, but they hadn't been challenged the way they needed to be challenged. And she wanted to get a girls coach that would pay total attention to the girls. I love coaching girls. And she asked me if I would do that. I said, yes, absolutely. And so for the last 6 years, I've been the girls coach. And it's been obviously a wonderful ride, 4 out of 5 state championships. So last 4 out of 5 years. So that's can't complain about that.
I mean, I wouldn't complain one bit, Coach. What? And I think the great thing about being a member of the Texas High School Coaches Association is that you get to hear these coaches, these these ultra successful coaches, and they tell you this. They tell you the secrets. They tell you they want you to get better. They want you to push. They want you to improve your programs. What do you think are some of your things that you do that differentiate your program to the next, that you're able to have this success wherever you've been? And I know we've said the love, I know we've said coaching hard. I know that those are great staples of what you do as a man, as an individual. But what are some things that young coach coming up in the game can do to better their program?
Well, let's make this very clear. So this success that we've had at Alamo Heights, we got great players. What makes great coaches? Great players. Nick Saban will tell you that. So let's make sure that these girls and these kids that I've been fortunate to coach at Alamo Heights, they get that credit, because they certainly deserve it. What pushed them over that next line? If you maybe held my feet to the fire and I chose one thing, I alluded to it just a little while ago, and I don't think very many teams do this. We work out 2 mornings a week. And when I say we work out, it is not just your average little, here, stretch a little, run a little, okay, everybody okay, go home. We're in the weight room, we're squatting, we're power cleaning, we do some CrossFit things. I'm going to have a couple of pukers every morning. We do. I think you have had Mike Romatowski on your.
Yes, sir. Mike, yeah. Jeff Young, had those guys.
Yep. We do the Mach 3 speed training. And the girls have bought in completely and totally. And I really think when they're standing on the first tee at the state tournament with 2 other girls, and they kind of know they haven't done what they've done, there's a whole level of confidence that kind of takes place there. It's they just know they're prepared. They know they're mentally, physically, mechanically prepared to go play their best golf.
And it seems like, has everything just gone your way? And I think one things we kind of tell the kids that, you know what, you need to create your own luck, right? You have to create your own luck. And, you know, and it's like the signs that are up right on the walls in these businesses, right? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? Those things. And has in this run that you've been on in 4 state titles in 5 years, has it been a little bit difficult? Have they all been different in their own way?
Absolutely. That first one, we didn't. I kind of thought we were a year away. I had good players coming back from my first year at Alamo Heights, but not to the level we have now. And then Julia Vollmer showed up on campus from our junior school, and Julia was already a very accomplished player, and she added a element of work ethic and attention to detail, and I think that I'll never forget at the state tournament that year. I think we were 7 or 8 shots back after the first round, and we get into the second round, and I am standing with Julia on a par 5, third shot, number 12. I'll never forget it. And a thunderstorm hits. A big thunderstorm, and it is blowing rain completely sideways. No lightning, or they would have blown the horn. And so I grab an umbrella out of Julia's bag. I get it. It's blowing hard enough. I'm holding it sideways, not straight up. And I look over at Julia, and she's looking at me with this smile. She didn't say it, but it was just that unspoken communication. Coach, we just won the state tournament. She knew it. She knew right then and there that our opponents weren't going to handle that weather adversity like that. They weren't gonna deal with it. Sure enough, I got her taken care of, helped her through that shot. I jump in the cart. I go up to the next hole, make sure that girl's got her weather gear, umbrella, big smile on her face. The other two competitors look defeated. Next hole, that girl's telling me, tell the other girls to do this, and she is so excited she can't stand it. And sure enough, that little storm lasted about a 4-hole section, and our whole team played that section in 1 under par. And there was a Montgomery, who is a very well-known, long time established, multiple state championships. They are already in the clubhouse, excited because this weather's happened, thinking, okay, we've got a chance now because these people aren't going to handle this weather well. Not only do we handle it well, we gain strokes on Montgomery, and then we're able to go ahead and finish it. So just that toughness and bring it. Let's go. Make it harder because we're going to handle it better. So that's kind of what's differentiated us from the others.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I told you off air that I'm going into a new school, and I'm fighting some new battles, right, over these 22 years of teaching and coaching, and but I love it though. I love it. I love having to do that, and as a coach, I'm sure like that has to really get you going. That's got to like grind your gears, because this is something like you helped build. This is why we do what we do for this exact, and it might never happen, right, Coach? That might have never happened, right? That whole wind, the whole scenario, like the rain, it may have never happened.
No doubt, and I think you were talking about luck and things going your way. That thunderstorm certainly went our way, and like Coach Royal used to say, luck don't sign on the same old dog's ass every day. You gotta go make some of your own luck, right? And you make it by attention to detail and passion and hard work and toughness. We have a house that our girls built, and it's got 4 pillars to that house, and those 4 pillars are faith, selfless, process, and grit. And they have a little card that has their house on it. The roof to the house is toughness through gratitude. In other words, we're going to be thankful for all the hard things we got to do. Thunderstorms, bad weather, delays, whatever comes our way. Our team not playing well. I always say it's not how good your good is, it's how good is your bad. Can you not have your best and still get it done? And so just those things, that's what creates luck. And then the foundation of that house, Andy, is love. Our girls love each other, and they love the game, and they have faith in each other, and they play for each other, and they believe in each other, and it helps them get through a round when you may be struggling a little bit, and you look, you just kind of know I've got 4 other teammates that are busting their tail for me right now. I'm going to keep a great attitude and keep doing that myself. As I've been in the coaching game, you always try to steal, as educators, right? And being a teacher, you always try to steal from other good coaches and other good educators. And I think as a younger coach, I used to be all about the X's and O's and not the Janes and the Joes, right? Yeah.
And, I heard it from every meeting room, from every coach that spoke. Is that L word, that love, and I just think, and as I say that, and I said, man, I'm already telling myself I'm gonna go back and listen to this one with Coach. Right? I said I need to write down all these quotes. I'm over here like, where's that damn coaching school, the notebook they gave me over there in coaching school? Class is still in session, baby. And so. And so, Coach, as we say that, what have been maybe some of that's a great story where you prepped your kids for that exact moment. I always tell the kids on the field, I said, guys, I hope we never have to run this play. And like, Coach, why not? I said, you always have to keep something in your back pocket. I'd rather be prepared for the thunder and the rain than
Yeah.
to not be prepared for it.
Right.
So coach, that was a great memory right there, and a great time where you prepped your kids. What was maybe one of your maybe not so great calls that you may have made, and you wish you could have a maximum demo dismantling do over right there?
We've all got scar tissue, don't we? If you're going to be in the coaching business, you are going to have cerebral scar tissue that never goes away, no matter all the successes that stack up on, after something bad happens. We lost the state championship after we won our first one. We lost it by one stroke. And I got to give Austin Anderson credit, man. The girls played great. Not taking one thing away from them. I would never do that. They had Farrah O'Keefe, who is now an All-American at the University of Texas and well on her way to an LPGA Tour career. Played in the Women's Augusta Invitational. She went toe-to-toe with Julia and played great, led her team. But it wasn't necessarily her. So you'll understand, and all the golf coaches that are listening, you're only as good as your number 4 player. Because number 1, 2, and 3 ain't always going to have their best stuff, right? So number 4's got to bail them out every once in a while. Well, their number 4 had an 85 scoring average for the entire year, and she shot her personal best ever 76 that day, and they beat us by 1. So, I probably could have done some things differently in that year leading up to that tournament that might have made up. I told the girls that one's on me, and I'm not going to go into it completely, but that one's on me, and I'll keep that scar tissue with me forever. So even the 3 we won after that doesn't make up. If you're a coach and you're serious about what you do and you want to win and you're driven, three state championships after that still doesn't make up for that scar tissue.
So you say that, Coach, and I think that's why your kids love you and respect you, is because you know what, it's hard to admit when you're wrong, and I think or when you made a bad call, right? And I think the kids they love you and they'll trust you even more when you're able to be honest with them, and I think those are, I mean, these are great things that your girls, their house, that the pillars to your house that are built upon. But I think that's one thing that I've learned, and it seems like you do a great job is keeping it real with your kids.
You got to be vulnerable. It is okay to show them that you're human, that you have emotions, that you're not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, and they just seem to appreciate that. They seem to love you more for that, it has certainly served me well. I know that. Show my vulnerable side. Show them that I'm human. Show them I make mistakes. Yeah, that's okay, and then admit it. Look them in the eye and say, "Hey, I screwed up. This one's on me," and move on. Move on confidently with your head held high. So yes, that's you said that very well.
What do you think is the biggest hurdle right now with athletics, high school athletics, that you're as a golf coach and a pretty successful one, and with great players that you are having to navigate through now? That's something maybe you didn't have to do, say 10, 15, 20 years ago.
It doesn't seem like it was such a hurdle 15, 20 years ago, but the academy thing, kids are going to academies, IMG, et cetera. They don't go to school all day. They play a lot more of their sport, and it's happening in all sports. And it's really happening in golf. We just got back from the national tournament at Pinehurst. The only team that beat us out of every state champion in the United States was one from Atlanta, Georgia. That was an academy. They went to school 2 days a week. They played golf the rest of the time. And And so that is one of the battles. Do I blame those kids for taking advantage of those things? No, as long as it's done correctly. I think a lot of those academies, and we have some very close here in town that will guarantee Division I scholarships, and you can't do that. You can guarantee no kid a Division I scholarship, and it just keeps happening, and parents and kids are listening, and so I'm a public school teacher. And I'm proud to be a public school teacher, and I will fight for public school till hell freezes over. And then I'll fight them on ice. I just believe in what we're doing and what our programs do and the success that our kids are having. And I think that's a big battle. And like my friends at South Lake Carroll lost a kid midway through the year. Their best player just decided she signed her college scholarship and said, Coach, I'm going to go practice on my own now. Walked away from her team. There's a lot of kind of selfish attitudes among kids. It becomes more about me, and they don't understand that team attitude and what they get from being a part of the team. And the sacrifices they learn and the discipline they have and all the things that it takes to be on a team, right? You're playing for something bigger than yourself. And I think those kids are going to struggle when they get to college because those college coaches don't coach any differently than, you're playing for the University of Texas. We're paying you to play here. And this is about us. It ain't about you.
One of the last questions I have for you, Coach, and I'm so thankful for your time. I told you about like 35 minutes, but man, this is a twosome. We're riding in the cart. We're out there, Coach. We're out there, man.
Keep firing away, man.
What are your thoughts on two-sport, like on multiple sport kids, athletes?
So for golf, let's just get this out of the way now. We've become a year-round sport. Okay. I have a girl that plays soccer on my team right now. She plays high school soccer, club soccer, and golf for us. So basically, really, she's got 3 sports, not 2. And so it makes it really, really, really hard on her. Just the nature of our sport being a year-round. Our first tournament's in August. We got 4 tournaments in the fall semester, 4 more in the spring, and then you got district, regionals, and state. So my assistant, Jim Bergner, brought it to my attention the other day. Our season is longer than Major League Baseball. Good God.
Oh, my gosh.
That's forever. 62 games, and we all complain about how long Major League Baseball is, right?
Hell yeah.
So, it makes it very tough for golf. That being said, I love the fact when I get kids that have played multiple sports that have come to me and they've kind of decided, you know what, golf's going to kind of be my thing, but can I still play football or can I still play basketball? I'm always going to bust my tail to try to find a way to make that happen and do what's best for the kid. And our AD, Coach Ron Ritteman, is adamant about supporting 2-sport athletes, and I'm fully on board with that. When you get kids that have played multiple sports, they're tougher, they're more disciplined, they're a lot of times better athletes. They're coachable. They've had their butt chewed, and they know they're going to live through it. And so I play every sport you can play for as long as you can play it. And then if they want to keep playing it, coaches find a way to make it happen for them.
And I'm in hard agreement with you. And I think, you get a lot of it because I'm sure a lot of your girls have their own personal coach. Am I right?
No doubt. Yes, sir.
And a lot of times, I'm sure those coaches, I've had Cameron Carillon on the show. I've had several girls who are who are going on to do great things. Well, they all have worked with Cameron worked with Gathright, right? And then
Right.
I've had Joe on the show. And do you think that those coaches, do they want, I guess, to have them more than maybe they get them as they play other sports, as they have to share other time? Because I know you're not necessarily like the mechanical coach, right? You're that's not your job.
I can certainly talk about posture, grip, alignment, a little bit of swing plane, tempo, ball position. I'm going to talk about those things. I'm also going to make a great relationship with Brian Gathright and Joe Caruso and Brian McMillan and David Ogren. I'm going to make sure that I have a conversation with them, and they know they can call me and say, "Hey, Susie needs to be paying attention to 1, 2, 3. I'm listening. I'm going to support that. I'm never going to say, no, don't do that. You have to do it, Mike. No, we ain't going down that road. So I'm going to support them. I think all of those coaches, all of those swing teachers are so busy. They get them about all they can get them. They got lessons lined up forever. And so I've been fortunate that all those swing teachers support what I do. We got a great relationship. I support what they do, and the kid benefits from it.
And I think you're doing a great job of it, Coach, and you're navigating it properly. All right, Coach, let's get into some fun stuff. What's your favorite course here in town?
My favorite course here in town is no longer a course here in town.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Say it.
Pecan Valley was the finest golf course in one of the top 10 in Texas. And it's no longer. It's just I'm a traditional guy. If I was a man of money, I would probably be a member at San Antonio Country Club, Oak Hills, just because I love that traditional feel, that traditional style, the shot making required, the thought process required. I love those old. The first great golf course I ever got to play, and I'll never forget, or a named golf course, a tour golf course, was Colonial. That to me that's a golf course. It doesn't have to be 7,500 yards and all tricked up, the Colonials and the Preston Trails of the world. And those are great golf courses.
Oh, you can get in a lot of trouble at Oak Hills. You definitely can.
Yes,
I think I need to send Ryan a bill for all the tree trimming I do over there. and the snack station. I think I'm not invited back for a while because I think I went nuts on like the little crackers and that little snack station area they have over there.
It's hard not to do, isn't it?
Definitely. Favorite golf movie?
Favorite golf? Tin Cup, man. Give me a number, Romes.
It's like, was it 7 iron on 12 or was it 7 iron on 15?
Yeah. This absolute greatness. Love that movie.
Best golf memory? Maybe not. It doesn't necessarily have to be as a coach.
Just playing with mom and dad. Back in the day in Odessa, spending time with them. Wouldn't take for those times. They're the reason I got into the game. We had a lot of fun, played a lot of golf in a lot of different places, from in the Mountain Gods in Rio Doso to Odessa Country Club, and then they moved to Granbury and all those golf courses around Granbury. That's a great golf memory, and then just. I think I'm going to remember state championships for a really long time.
Oh, I mean, right? I mean, you earned it, right, Coach? one of my last questions for you here today, and I'm so appreciative of your time, Coach, and your honesty and your vulnerability here on the show. After in the process of being in your three-peat and just completing your your third consecutive state championship, what keeps Coach McCuiston hungry? What keeps you and your squad hungry?
Showing up and seeing those kids, whether we're going to the golf course or not, seeing their smiles on their faces, talking them off a cliff when they think their world's coming to an end because they just made a double bogey. Just in creating those relationships with those kids. I don't ever want that to stop. I sometimes find myself, and my wife called me out on it probably 4 or 5 years ago. You're always ready for school to end, right? Ready for summertime, ready for Port A, ready for the mountains, ready for, some time down. Sometime in between the end of coaching school, which was yesterday, and August 13th, I'm going to get grouchy, kind of depressed. It's because I miss my kids. I miss being with them. I miss the challenge of trying to find a way to open that lock, get that key and open that lock and see those lights come on, and there's nothing like that. I'm addicted to it. I love being with kids and seeing them succeed, seeing them fight through challenge, adversity, and win that fight. There's nothing like that.
Damn, that's beautiful, Coach. That's amazing right there. Hunter wanted me to tell you he's always grouchy. Tell him I said that. and he said here he goes here too. He goes, Coach finally got that state title he always wanted right there.
Well, sure. Did I want it? You bet. Can I tell one more quick story?
Coach, nothing is OB, Coach.
I'm about to be real vulnerable here. Are you ready? So in 2021, we're practicing at Brackenridge, and it's the week before the state tournament. And so they were not practicing well. We were back on that chipping green behind the cart barn.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And they were not as focused as I wanted them to be. And I called them together and I chewed their ass a little bit and challenged them that it's a week before the state tournament. What are you doing? And just got after them and tried to get their focus back, and I always try to end my butt chewings on with something positive. And like I told you earlier, I kind of thought we were maybe a year away. I didn't think we were quite ready to win it yet, but I thought we could get on the medal stand. And so I thought, you know what? If you win a state tournament, I'll go get a Tibby tattoo. Well, Tibby is on the side of our bags. TIBI, it stands for Trust It and Bust It. And so, and they heard tattoo and they were like, oh yeah, that's all you're going to have to go get. We'll show you, blah, blah, blah. And they went back to work and they got after it. Sure enough, we go win it. We're standing around after the award ceremony at the state tournament, and everybody's hugging and so on and so forth. And they immediately reminded, you got to go get a tattoo. Shortly after coaching school, I told Wendy, I said, we got to go do this. And just like everything else I do, I think the girls thought I was just going to go get some little small TIBI somewhere. No. Got that?
Come a little bit the other way. Come a little bit to your right. There it is right there. Oh, man, that's badass right there. But, Coach, it's gorgeous, Coach. And you know what?
It's got updated. I got a Bible verse there, 1 Corinthians 9:24. And now I've got to go get it updated again. So, and then Coach Bergner, I kind of set him up. Same spot we were at Brack this year. We got together, and they'd been practicing well. And I told the girls, I said, this is the same spot I told y'all to go get a Tibby tattoo. back in 21. Of course, none of them were there. They didn't remember that. Not on the story. And I said, and I'll tell you what, you win this state championship, Coach Berger's going to go get a TV tattoo. And I didn't tell him about it, and he did. He went and got the same exact tattoo I do. So we both got to set a date and go get updated. So,
Damn. Coach, they're going to have to start making some policies for you over there at Alamo Heights in the district. They're like, we're going to have the Coach McCuiston, rules over here about tattoo policies and stuff for staff members.
It's been a blast. It sure has. And this year, Andy, I didn't get to say this much in the papers and things. Our girls never lost a tournament all year long. And we play in nothing but 6A level tournaments on very, very good golf courses. Not one time did they lose a tournament, and won a lot of them by a bunch. We host the Swing for the Cure, which is a great tournament at Brackenridge. You should try to maybe come stick your head in. Check that out.
I'm in. I'm in. Say less.
We raise money for all the teams pay their entry fee. They're all state championship or been to state championship. It's a very super high level tournament. And we ask them to bring some extra money, and that money goes directly to teachers that are fighting cancer, mainly to women that are fighting breast cancer. If we don't get any requests for that, we find teachers and coaches that are fighting any type of cancer. And so we were able to give $2,500 to $3,000 to 4 different people throughout this year. Hopeful to do the same next year. We play 54 holes. It's 36 on Friday. Come back Saturday morning. Go again for another 18. The Alamo Heights Mules girls won that tournament against the very best company. It's the best field in the state. And I think we won that one by 20 over the eventual 6A state champion, the 6A runner-up. I can't tell you how the level of play these girls exhibited. Then they show up at the state tournament, set a 5A state tournament record, shoot even par 288 on day 2. And win the state tournament by 20 and finish ranked number 1 in the state, and that's through all classifications. Let's just say I'm a very blessed man, Andy. I sure am.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight and taking us through your golf journey and your journey as a man, as a coach, as a husband. And if anybody watches or listens today, they know exactly why you're in the exact position you're in and you and your squad is in. You do things with love. You do it with grit. You do it with trust. You do it with faith, selflessness, trust the process. And, Coach, I got one last question for you. Who are you playing your final round of golf with?
Who might? So, dadgummit, I heard you ask Coach Poppy that. And I started immediately thinking, if he asked me that same question, this is what I want to do. And before it ever came out of his mouth, I had already made up my mind. I would love for all of my ex-players to show up, and we're going to have a shotgun start at Brack. And they're all adults, so we're going to probably have a beverage or two. And we're going to go enjoy the day, and I'm going to play a hole with every single group. And that would be the absolute ultimate last round of golf.
Coach, that's a first. This is episode 197, and I've done so many other little episodes and things of that nature. And freaking Hunter, Coach, but who wins? Well, Coach, obviously you win. You win right there.
I know this. If those 5 girls that I coached this year are on the same team, I feel sorry for everybody else. It's not going to go well for them.
Guys, make sure, guys, if you need somebody to root for this year, and you need a squad to root for. Make sure you pray and root for everybody else that goes up against Coach McCuiston and his girls team. Coach, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate your honesty. We appreciate you sharing your journey. And there's no secret why you and your team is in the position that they're in right now, Coach. And I want to see you go for a fourth again, Coach. But win or lose, Coach, I want to make sure this time after coaching school again, I need to get you back on.
I would look very much forward to that. It's an honor and privilege to be on. Hope I said something somewhere that helps another coach get a little better. So and live their best life in this coaching profession, because it's a daggum good life.
Shoot, it is, man. No lie, Coach. It definitely is, man. Coach, I appreciate you so much, Coach. And, hey, tear it up this year, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Andy.
All right, you have a good night.
All right.
Bye. Man. Woo, right there. Coach McCuiston took us on a freaking journey right there. An amazing man. Like I said, I've seen him from afar, working out there, hitting some balls out there in San Pedro, and I always see him and his squad getting after it. Coach McCuiston touched on a couple of points right here as I wrap up. He talked about coaching school being a place, and for those of you that don't know, it's Texas High School Coaches Association, and myself and one of my coaches had the privilege of being there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We finished 3 amazing days hearing a coaching panel of the 13 Division I football coaches, hearing Coach Thomas Kearney from Incarnate Word, meeting numerous coaches, hearing coaches basketball, baseball, football, softball, some of the most successful coaches in the state of Texas. And you heard everything wrapped up with Coach Starkeesian, Coach Stark at the University of Texas, wrapped it up on Tuesday. And I think the main thing that a lot of these coaches were talking about is that love all of their programs. And why are they so successful is because they and their team do amazing things with great love for their program, love for their sport, love for their school, love for each other. And it's a thing of immense beauty right here, guys. All right, guys, but before I sign off tonight, guys, and just a reminder right here, FOREBROS Tour has an amazing event going on this Saturday. Happy Gilmore 2. It's coming out. It's dropping, I think, on Thursday, but Golf Club of Texas, the Golf Bible Golf Club of Texas, is going to be in collaboration with FOREBROS Tour and Nothing is Obi South Texas Golf Podcast. We're having a little 9-hole event out there. It's $60 for non-members and $49 for members, and for FOREBROS Tour members as well. FOREBROS Tour members also get free food. All right. They also get a free meal as well. And there will be free beer provided, courtesy of FOREBROS Tour member Dave Davila and American Knuckle Auto Shop. Thank you so much to Dave Davila for making this happen for our members and prospective members, because this is also an open house for anybody who's interested in becoming a member of FOREBROS Tour. Come out, bring your family. Golf starts at 6, 9 holes. Then movie time is at 9 o'clock. Bring the family, set up. It's going to be out there on the inflatable big screen. Nobody can do it like Bo LaHue out at his place. Guys, Golf Club of Texas, such a great course. The vibes, Tin Cup Bar. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, my family's going out there. We love Happy Gilmore 1. We're getting ready to watch it again right here to get ourselves ready and set up for Happy Gilmore 2. Come out there, watch it. That's Saturday, July 26th. Golf time, 6 p.m. Movie time, 9 p.m. Bring the family, set up. It's going to be a great time right there. It's a great time to be a member of FOREBROS Tour. Also, guys, don't forget, guys, if you're not sure, if you don't have a place to play, make sure, guys, you check out FOREBROS Tour. Never golf alone again, guys. Hit us up on Unknown Golf, and you can go to nothingisobi.com. There is a tab at the top right there. It says FOREBROS Tour. You can find out more about us. Check out our schedule. We have the best schedule in town. We keep zero of your money. Everything that goes into FOREBROS Tour, it goes directly to benefit our members. We're a member-first organization. never golf alone again, guys. We have a home. We have a home for you guys. And also, I want to thank our presenting sponsor. Big ups goes to my guy, Lee Ramos, out at MaximumDemo.com. Make sure, guys, for any of your demolition and dismantling needs, make sure you hit up my guy, Lee Ramos, at 210-507-2227. Hit him up at MaximumDemo.com. This dude loves the dirty work. Such a good man. Southside born, Southside raised. No job too big, no job too small. Hit up my guy, Lee Ramos, out at Demolition and Maximum Demolition and Dismantling. And don't forget, guys, all night we've come live from the Texas Chancla Studios. Yes, he is that lawyer. He's just, man, this dude played, he played the English coast, he played the Irish coast, the Scottish coast, man. He played some of the best tracks, living his best golf life. I think he's coming back down to reality since he's back in Texas. Hit up for any of your legal needs, DWI, criminal court case, divorce, personal injury. Hit him up at JesseHernandezLaw.com. He is that lawyer, TikTok lawyer, giving the free tips, free advice. He will fight for you. He'll slap some people with that Texas Chancla for you. Hit him up at 210-807-8656. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Man, Coach Brent was the man. Coach McCuiston was the man, guys. Remember, guys, in the game of life, nothing is OB. That's golf, bro.